Hey, hi everyone. This is Alex, and you are listening to the Natural English Podcast. I am here with Sarah, as always.
Hi, this is Sarah. I am really happy you are here with us today.
So, how are you doing today? And maybe, think about this. How was your last weekend? Just think in your head for a second.
Yeah, maybe you can answer in a few simple words. Like, good, busy, very relaxing, or not so good. That is totally okay.
If you can only say one or two words in English now, that is fine. By the end of this episode, you will be able to say more. You will be able to talk about simple weekend activities and how you like to relax.
Yeah, we want you to feel calm and a little more confident when you speak about your weekend.
Okay, before we start, we have a small listening challenge for you. Just a tiny one.
I like that. A small challenge is good, not too hard.
So here is the challenge. I will ask you a question. Then Sarah will tell a short story about her last weekend. Your job is to listen and find the answer. Ready? The question is, what did Sarah do on Sunday afternoon?
I will say it one more time, a little slower. You listen and remember. The question is, what did I do on Sunday afternoon?
Nice. And one small thing. You will hear one useful phrase. Slept in. When we say I slept in, it means I woke up late and I did not get out of bed early. For example, on Saturday, I slept in until 9.
Yeah, slept in is great for weekends, like, on my birthday, I slept in and did nothing in the morning.
Okay. Now, just relax. You do not need to understand every word. Just try to catch Sunday afternoon. Listen for that part. Sarah, tell us your mini weekend story.
All right. So, last weekend was pretty simple for me. On Saturday morning, I slept in because I was really tired from the week. I got up late, made some coffee, and had a slow breakfast. Then, around midday, I did a little cleaning at home. Just simple things like washing the dishes and folding clothes.
Okay, I am following you so far.
In the afternoon, I went for a walk in the park near my house. The weather was nice, so I listened to some music and just walked slowly. In the evening, I stayed at home and I watched a movie online. It was a quiet Saturday, but it felt good.
Nice, very calm.
On Sunday morning, I relaxed at home. I had tea, I read a little, and I talked to my family on the phone. And on Sunday afternoon, I met a friend for coffee in a small cafe. We talked for about 2 hours. Then I went home and prepared for the new week.
Okay, good. So, let us check your listening challenge now. Remember the question. What did Sarah do on Sunday afternoon? The answer is, she said, I met a friend for coffee in a small cafe on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, listen one more time, a little slower. I met a friend for coffee in a small cafe on Sunday afternoon.
Maybe your weekend is similar to Sarah's. Maybe you also sleep in, go for a walk, watch a movie, relax at home, or meet a friend for coffee. Or maybe your weekend is very different. That is okay too.
After this episode, we want you to answer some simple questions like, what do you usually do on Saturday morning? And how do you relax on Sunday?
Yeah, this will be a real natural conversation. We will keep it light and we will explain a few things, but not like a long, boring lesson.
We just want to sit with you and talk about normal weekends with useful English you can really use.
So, let us get some easy, useful words to talk about weekends.
Yeah. In the next part, I will share common words and phrases to describe things like sleeping in, going out, or staying home.
So, in this part, we are going to build a little toolbox for weekends. Just simple, very common phrases you can really use.
Right. And do not worry about writing everything down. We will repeat the phrases in short, tiny dialogues so your ears can catch them.
We will look at 3 small groups. 1, staying at home, 2, going out, and 3, relaxing, just taking it easy.
Okay, so let us start with staying at home. Very simple. Listen for the verbs, what you do, not long grammar, just actions.
Yeah. Actions you can say fast when someone asks, "Hey, what do you do on the weekend?"
The first one is sleep in. Sleep in. This means you stay in bed longer in the morning. You do not get up early.
So if I say on Saturdays I usually sleep in, that means I wake up late, right?
Exactly. You stay in bed, maybe you check your phone, you relax, you sleep in.
Let us make a little dialogue with that. You can listen and then copy us later.
Okay, ask me about my Saturday morning.
All right, what do you usually do on Saturday morning?
On Saturday morning, I usually sleep in and then I make a big breakfast.
You sleep in, right? You do not get up early.
Yes, exactly. I love to sleep in on Saturdays.
Nice. So, listeners, you can try this later. I usually sleep in on, and say your day.
Now another home phrase, relax at home. Relax at home. It just means you rest in your house. Maybe you read, maybe you watch something. You do nothing special.
Is that more for staying at home or going out?
For staying at home, for sure. For example, on Sunday afternoon, I like to relax at home and listen to music.
Let me try a mini dialogue with that one. You can answer me like in real life.
Okay, go for it.
What do you do on Sunday afternoon, Sarah?
On Sunday afternoon, I usually relax at home. I sit on the sofa and read a book.
So you do not go out. You just relax at home.
Yes, I like quiet Sundays.
All right, now let us move to going out. Things you do outside your home.
One very useful phrase is hang out with friends. Hang out with friends. This means you spend time with your friends in a relaxed way. You are not doing anything very formal. You just are together.
So, is hang out with friends more for staying at home or going out?
Usually for going out. For example, I might say, I like to hang out with my friends on Saturday night. Maybe we go to a cafe or just walk around.
Okay, mini dialogue time again.
Sure, ask me about Saturday night.
What do you usually do on Saturday night?
On Saturday night, I usually hang out with friends. We go to a small restaurant and talk.
So you spend time with them. You hang out with friends.
Yes, that is right.
Now, sometimes on the weekend, people like to walk outside slowly just for fun.
Yes, and a very common phrase for that is, go for a walk. Go for a walk. It means you walk for pleasure, not for work, not to rush.
Is go for a walk more like staying at home or going out?
Going out because you leave your house. For example, I often go for a walk in the park on Sunday morning.
Let me put it in a quick conversation with you.
Okay.
Do you do any exercise on Sunday?
Not really strong exercise, but I usually go for a walk near my house.
So, you go for a walk. Nice and easy.
Yes, it helps me relax.
Speaking of relaxing, let us look at that relaxing group again. We already said relax at home. There are a few more, like watch a movie or visit family.
Yeah. For example, watch a movie is very common. You can say, I like to watch a movie on Saturday night, or I often watch a movie when I relax at home.
And visit family is when you go and see your parents, grandparents, cousins, all that.
Right. You can say, I usually visit my family on Sunday, or on Sunday afternoon, we visit family and have lunch together.
Now, I want to try something. A little bit wrong.
Oh, the robot English part?
Yes, I will say a very stiff sentence. Listeners, listen and feel if it sounds natural or not.
Okay, I am ready to laugh kindly.
Here we go. On Sunday, I frequently do the activity of going to the cinema.
Oh, wow, that sounds so robotic, so heavy. No one talks like that.
Yeah, it feels like a textbook from 50 years ago.
A more natural way is very simple. You can say, on Sunday, I usually go to the movies, or I like going to the cinema on Sundays.
So, listeners, hear the small words. Usually. I like going. They make it sound more real, right?
Yes, it sounds like normal conversation, not, I do the activity of. You do not need that.
Can we show one more contrast, maybe with relax?
Sure, some people say, I take a rest on Sunday. It is not wrong, but it sounds a bit formal or strange for the whole day.
So what is better?
More natural is, I relax on Sunday, or I like to relax at home on Sunday. Very light, very common.
Let me repeat the natural ones, and you at home you can copy with me. On Sunday, I usually go to the movies.
And the other one, I like to relax at home on Sunday.
You can pause the audio and say them a few times, slowly.
Okay, let us very quickly touch 2 more weekend phrases, just with examples, no long talk.
Good idea. Maybe housework and cooking?
Yes, do housework. For example, I usually do housework on Saturday morning. I clean the kitchen and wash clothes.
That one is more staying at home, right?
Yes, totally at home. And cook something nice. That means you make a good meal, maybe a little special. For example, on Saturday night, I like to cook something nice for my family.
So, listeners, just notice the small patterns. I like to, I often. Plus your weekend verb. Sleep in, relax at home, hang out with friends, go for a walk.
Yes, you do not need big grammar, just one of those small time words, and then your action.
Before we move on, let us very quickly repeat 3 key phrases from this part.
Okay? Sleep in, relax at home, and hang out with friends.
Yeah, if you remember just those 3, you can already say a lot about your weekend.
And now that you have these words and phrases in your toolbox, we can start to use them for real, for our own weekends.
In the next part, Sarah and I will each describe a typical weekend. We will use this vocabulary, and you can think about your weekend too.
Yes, try to imagine your Saturday and Sunday and get ready to talk about them with these phrases.
So, in this part, we want to show you very clearly how to use these weekend phrases in a real, simple conversation.
Yeah, a real chat, not a school book dialogue. We will talk about our own weekends in an honest and easy way.
And remember, the goal is not perfect grammar. The goal is, can you share some basic information about your weekend? And maybe a small story.
Exactly. If you can say, for example, what you do on Friday night, what you do on Saturday, and how you relax on Sunday, that is already great.
Okay, so first I will ask Sarah some questions about her typical weekend. When you listen, try to notice the patterns. Things like, on Friday night I usually, or on Sunday I often.
And you can copy these patterns later with your own ideas. All right, I am ready. Ask me.
All right. So, Sarah, what do you usually do on Friday night?
On Friday night, I usually feel pretty tired from work, so I relax at home and watch a series. I do not go out much on Friday. I just like to stay in, cook something simple, and then, relax at home and watch something.
Nice. So you said, on Friday night, I usually feel tired, so I relax at home. This is a really useful pattern. On Friday night, I usually, and then your activity.
Yeah, you can change it. For example, you could say, on Friday night, I usually meet my friends, or on Friday night, I usually play games. Same pattern, just change the last part.
All right, next one. What time do you get up on Saturday?
On Saturday, I usually get up around 8:30. I do not get up very early, but I do not sleep all day. I get up, make coffee, and then I normally have a slow breakfast and check my phone for a bit.
So you said, on Saturday, I usually get up around 8:30. Again, same type of start. On Saturday, I usually. Very easy, very natural.
Yeah, this little beginning is so helpful. On Saturday, I usually, plus your routine. You can say, on Saturday, I usually do the shopping, or on Saturday, I usually clean my room.
Okay, next question. Do you prefer staying at home or going out on Sunday?
On Sunday morning, I usually stay at home. I like a quiet start. I have coffee, maybe read a book or listen to music. But on Sunday afternoon, I often visit my parents and have lunch with them. So I stay at home first, and then I go out later.
I like that. You used another nice pattern there. You said, on Sunday afternoon, I often visit my parents. So, on Sunday afternoon, I often, and then your activity.
Yeah, you can use often, or sometimes, or usually. For example, on Sunday afternoon, I sometimes go for a walk, or I often do my laundry. Simple adverbs, simple weekend things.
Last question for you, Sarah. How do you like to relax on the weekend?
I like to relax by staying at home with a good series or a good book. Sometimes I go for a slow walk in the park, so I could say, I like to relax at home and watch a series, or I like to relax by taking a walk in nature.
Nice. And listen to that phrase. I like to relax by, and then the verb with ing. I like to relax by reading, by cooking, by going for a walk. Very useful.
Yeah, that is a great one to steal. Just put your own relaxing activity at the end.
All right, now we change. Your turn to ask me, and you can also change the questions a little, so our listeners hear different ways to ask.
Okay, let me think. So, Alex, what does your Saturday morning look like?
My Saturday morning. Sometimes I sleep in, but sometimes I get up early to go for a run. If I sleep in, I have a late breakfast, maybe around 10 or 11. But if I get up early, I go for a run in the park. Then I come home, take a shower, and make coffee.
I want to stop there because that structure is really nice. You said, sometimes I sleep in, but sometimes I get up early. You can use this for many things, not just weekends.
Yes, exactly. Sometimes I. So for you, it could be, sometimes I go out on Saturday night, but sometimes I stay at home. Or sometimes I cook, but sometimes I order food.
All right, next one for you. Do you go out a lot on the weekend, or do you stay at home more?
I think I am in the middle. On Saturday afternoon, I like to meet a friend for coffee or maybe go to the cinema. But on Sunday, I usually stay at home, clean my place, and just enjoy some quiet time.
So again, you use that weekend pattern. On Saturday afternoon, I like to, and on Sunday, I usually. You can almost build a whole story just with those two lines.
Yeah, it makes it easy. You do not need complex grammar. Just say the day, plus usually, often, or sometimes, and then your action.
Okay, one more question. What is your favorite way to relax on Sunday?
On Sunday, my favorite way to relax is very simple. I make a big breakfast, I put on some music, and I stay in my pajamas for a long time. Sometimes I lie on the sofa and read, sometimes I just do nothing and daydream.
That sounds very cozy. And again, you said, my favorite way to relax is, and then the activity. Another good line to copy.
Yeah, you can say my favorite way to relax is watching movies, or my favorite way to relax is playing games on my phone.
So we talked about normal weekends. Now maybe we can share a little fail story. A weekend that did not go so well.
Yeah, I have one. So, last weekend I planned a very relaxing Sunday. That was the idea. I wanted to sleep in, have a slow breakfast, go for a nice walk, and then watch a movie in the evening. Very calm, very peaceful.
Okay, sounds perfect so far, but I feel something went wrong.
Yes. The problem was, on Saturday night, I stayed up very late watching a series. I said, okay, just one more episode, just one more. And suddenly it was 3 in the morning. So on Sunday, I was really tired.
Oh no, I know that feeling. So what happened on Sunday?
On Sunday morning, I tried to get up early, but I could not. I finally got up around 11. I felt terrible, and I was in a hurry. I rushed my breakfast, then I went out for a walk, but I was still sleepy. On the way home, on the train, I fell asleep and I missed my stop.
You missed your stop? So your relaxing Sunday became stressful Sunday.
Exactly. I woke up, I looked out the window, and I was in a totally different part of the city. I had to get off the train, wait for the next one, and go back. So my calm Sunday turned into a tired, messy day, all because I tried to watch too many episodes on Saturday night.
That is a great little story, and your English was very simple. Listen to the pattern. Last weekend I planned. On Saturday night, I stayed up late. On Sunday morning, I tried to get up early, but I could not. Past simple plus weekend phrases. Very clear.
Yeah, you can use that start. Last weekend and then tell your own short story. Last weekend I stayed at home all day. Or last weekend I met an old friend, and so on.
I also have a small weekend mistake. It is more about what I said, not what I did.
Okay, I am curious now. What happened?
So, one Monday morning at work, my manager asked me, "How was your weekend?" It was a normal, friendly question. Actually, I did nothing special. I stayed at home, I watched TV, I was very lazy. With my friends, I say that all the time. But this time in the office, I said, I did nothing all weekend. I was so lazy.
And how did your manager react?
She smiled, but it felt a little strange. In that moment, I thought, maybe this is too honest for work. It is okay with close friends, but in a serious meeting, maybe I should say something softer, like, I had a quiet weekend, I stayed at home and relaxed.
Yeah, that is a good point. I was lazy is totally fine with friends. But with your boss, maybe better to say, I had a relaxing weekend, or I had a quiet weekend at home.
So you can still be honest, but you choose a more gentle phrase. Quiet weekend or relaxing weekend sounds a bit more professional.
So, in this chapter, you heard how two people really talk about their weekends. We used patterns like, on Saturday I usually, sometimes I, but sometimes I, and last weekend I.
Now, in the next part, we will help you practice speaking, step by step, even if you are alone on a bus, or walking, or just at home.
We will guide you to repeat and to build your own simple weekend sentences using the same phrases you just heard. So now, this part is your speaking time. This is your little mini class just for you. And it is very low pressure, very relaxed.
Yeah, and if you can, try to really speak out loud. Move your mouth. Use your voice. If you are on a train or a bus, you can whisper, or you can just pause and talk later at home.
If you want more time, you can always pause the podcast. Take the time you need. If it feels slow, that is perfect. You are training your English muscles.
Okay, let's start with just small pieces, just short phrases. I will say them once. Normal speed, then one more time, a little slower, and then you repeat. Ready?
All right, first phrase. Listen, then copy.
Sleep in, sleep in. Your turn.
Nice. One more.
Relax at home. Relax at home. Now you.
Let's say the next one together. I will say it, and you join in.
Hang out with friends. Ready together. Hang out with friends. And now, just you.
Good. Keep your mouth moving, even if it feels a little strange. Next phrase.
Go for a walk. Go for a walk. Your turn.
And another one.
Visit family. Visit family. Now you say it.
Okay. Last one in this little group.
Watch a movie. Watch a movie. Your turn.
If your mouth is a bit tired, that is a good sign you are really practicing. Now, let's build some short sentences with these.
We will use a simple pattern, a simple frame. I say a model sentence. Then Alex will give you the first part, and you finish it with your real weekend.
So listen to Sarah first.
On Saturday, I usually sleep in. On Saturday, I usually sleep in.
Now it is your turn. Start with, on Saturday, I usually, and then add your real action. Maybe sleep in, or go for a walk, or visit family. Anything. Ready? On Saturday, I usually,
If you need more time, just pause. You can always come back.
Let's try a new day. Listen to the model.
On Sunday, I like to relax at home. On Sunday, I like to relax at home.
Okay, your turn now. Start with, on Sunday, I like to, and then add your real thing. Maybe you like to watch a movie. Maybe you like to hang out with friends. Use your life. On Sunday, I like to,
Nice. Even if it is not perfect, it is your English. That is what we want.
Next pattern, listen first.
On the weekend, I often visit family. On the weekend, I often visit family.
Now you change it. Start with, on the weekend, I often, and put your usual activity, maybe. I often go for a walk, or I often sleep in. Ready? On the weekend, I often.
You can also mix two ideas. I will show you.
Yeah, this next pattern is really useful for talking about different weekends.
Sometimes I relax at home, but sometimes I hang out with friends. Sometimes I relax at home, but sometimes I hang out with friends.
Now, it is your turn. Use the frame. Sometimes I, you can mix any two things. Like, sometimes I watch a movie, but sometimes I go for a walk. Okay, ready? Sometimes I.
If that was hard, no problem. You can come back and try again later. You are still learning the shape of the sentence.
Now, let's practice answering some common questions about weekends. We will do it step by step. First, you just listen to the question.
What do you usually do on Sunday? What do you usually do on Sunday?
Okay, now, if you can, pause the podcast. Answer with one or two sentences. Try to use, I usually hear, or I like to. So for example, I usually sleep in, or I like to visit family. Pause now and answer. If you are still here, I will give you one sample answer.
I usually relax at home on Sunday. I watch a movie and drink tea.
And my answer could be, I usually go for a walk on Sunday morning. In the evening, I hang out with friends.
You can compare your answer with ours. Maybe it is similar, maybe completely different. Both are fine.
Let's try another question. Listen carefully.
How do you relax on Saturday night? How do you relax on Saturday night?
Again, pause if you can. Answer with one or two sentences. You can start with, I like to, or I usually. For example, I like to watch a movie, or I usually stay at home. Pause now, I'm not going to say your answer. Okay, now here is one model.
I like to stay in and watch a movie on Saturday night. It helps me relax.
And I might say, I usually hang out with friends on Saturday night. We talk and laugh, and it is really relaxing.
Nice. So you can hear both answers use very simple English, but they sound natural.
Now a question about what you like more. Here, I want to give you one new word. The word is prefer. Prefer means you like one thing, more than another thing. For example, I prefer staying in means I like staying at home more than going out.
Yeah, one more example. I prefer watching movies to playing games. So, movies are my first choice.
Okay, listen to the question with prefer.
Do you prefer staying in or going out on the weekend? Do you prefer staying in or going out on the weekend?
Now it is your turn. Pause the podcast. Answer with one clear sentence. You can say, I prefer staying in, or I prefer going out. And if you want, add one more short sentence. Pause now and speak. All right, here is a simple model.
I prefer staying in on the weekend. I like to relax at home and watch a movie.
And I could say, I prefer going out on the weekend. I like to hang out with friends and go for a walk in the city.
You can notice the pattern is very clear. I prefer plus the thing you like more.
Let's do one last question now. This one is about time. Listen.
What time do you get up on Sunday? What time do you get up on Sunday?
Okay. Pause and answer with one sentence. For example, I get up at 9 or I get up at 7:30. Use real times from your weekend. Pause now and say it. Here is my answer.
I get up at about 9 on Sunday. I like to sleep in a little.
And I might say, I get up at 8 on Sunday. Not too early, not too late.
So in this section, you repeated phrases, you built short sentences, and you answered real weekend questions. That is a lot of speaking practice.
Thank you for speaking along with us. Really. Now, you can already make simple sentences about your weekends. You can say things like, on Saturday, I usually, and I prefer staying in.
And in the next part, we will help you make it more personal, more like your real weekend style, your favorite way to relax, not just copying us.
Yeah, we will help you think about your habits, what you like, and some simple reasons, so you can really describe your weekend life in English.
So, take a breath, maybe take a short break, and when you are ready, join us in the next chapter.
So now, in this part, we really talk about you, your real weekend, your real style. Not my weekend, not Sarah's weekend, your weekend.
Yeah, this is where you make the English personal. You use the phrases for your own life. Even if it is just one sentence, it is already good practice.
Okay, let's start with a simple question. Try to answer in your head, or out loud if you can. Are you a stay-at-home person on the weekend, or do you like going out?
So, for example, I can say, I am more a stay-at-home person on the weekend because I like slow mornings. I do not want to run everywhere. I just want to drink coffee, read a little, and relax at home.
I like that. For me, I am a mix. Sometimes I stay home. Sometimes I go out. I can say, I like going out on Saturday because I want to see friends, but on Sunday, I like staying home because it is quiet.
So now you try. Use that pattern. I am a stay-at-home person, or I like going out, and then give your reason. I like because I...
Yeah, I like because I... Okay, your turn now. Say one or two sentences. I'm a stay-at-home person. Or, I like going out because I...
Take a little moment. You can even pause the podcast and say it slowly.
All right. Next question. Do you like busy weekends or quiet weekends?
Busy here means you do many things. You meet people, you go to places, you have plans. Quiet means not many plans, just simple things, more rest.
For me, I like quiet weekends more. I can say, I like quiet weekends because I feel tired after the week. I do not want a full schedule. I just want time to breathe.
And for me, I like a busy Saturday, but a quiet Sunday. So I can say, I like busy weekends because it is fun and I see my friends, or I like quiet weekends because I feel calm.
Okay, your turn. Choose one. Busy or quiet. Then give a reason. I like weekends because I feel...
Here you go. Say your sentence. I like busy weekends because, or I like quiet weekends because...
Good. And remember, it does not need to be perfect. One simple sentence is already great practice.
Now, another small question. Do you prefer Saturday or Sunday? Which day is better for you?
The word prefer just mean you like one more than the other. So, do you like Saturday more or Sunday more?
For me, I prefer Saturday. I can say, I like Saturday more than Sunday because I have more energy and I can meet friends. On Sunday, I start thinking about work again, so it is not so relaxing for me.
I am a little different. For me, Sunday is better than Saturday because I can really rest. I do not make many plans. I just move slowly and enjoy the day.
So listen to the pattern. Saturday is better than Sunday because, or Sunday is better than Saturday because...
Okay, now you choose. Which is better for you, Saturday or Sunday? Say one sentence. Saturday is better than Sunday because, or Sunday is better than Saturday because...
You can pause here, think a little, and then say it out loud. Just one clear sentence.
All right, now let's talk about relaxing. Sometimes the week is stressful, right? A lot of work, a lot of study. On the weekend, how do you like to relax when you feel stressed?
There was a nice phrase here. My favorite way to relax. Way here means method or style. So when I say my favorite way to relax, it means the thing I like to do to feel calm.
Yeah. For example, I can say my favorite way to relax on the weekend is to take a long walk in the park. I feel relaxed when I walk slowly and listen to music or just listen to the birds.
For me, my favorite way to relax is to watch a movie at home. I feel relaxed when I sit on the sofa, have a warm drink, and just enjoy the story. Sometimes I also like to read a book because it is quiet and peaceful.
Another word we can use is recharge. To recharge is like to fill your energy again, like when you charge your phone. So I can say, I recharge when I cook a simple meal and listen to music. It gives me energy again.
Yeah, I like that. I recharge when I take a hot bath and do nothing. No phone, no messages, just warm water and silence.
So now it is your turn again. Use this pattern. My favorite way to relax on the weekend is because, for example, my favorite way to relax on the weekend is to read because I feel calm, or my favorite way to relax is to meet friends because it is fun.
Okay, now you. Finish the sentence. My favorite way to relax on the weekend is because...
And if that is difficult, you can use a shorter one. I feel relaxed when I... And then your action. For example, I feel relaxed when I cook. Or, I feel relaxed when I go for a walk.
So try that too. Say one line. I feel relaxed when I...
Nice. In this part, you just made a little picture of your weekend in English. You said what kind of weekend person you are, which day you prefer, and how you like to relax.
And remember, even if your answers were very short, that is okay. You are already talking about your real weekend in English. That is a big step.
We are almost at the end of this episode now. In the last part, we will quickly review some key phrases and invite you to try them in real conversations with friends.
Yeah, and I will repeat a few of the most useful patterns, like I like, because I, and my favorite way to relax is, and I will give you a small homework idea you can do after you listen.
So, we are coming to the end of this episode now. This is our wrap-up, our little closing time together. Today, you practiced talking about simple weekend activities and how you like to relax. If you listened and repeated, you can now describe a basic weekend in clear, natural English.
Right, and before we say goodbye, let's do a very quick review. Just a few key phrases. You can repeat after me if you want. I'll say each one, and one short example.
Okay, so let's start with the first pattern. This one is great when you talk about your routine.
The first one is, on Saturday, for example, on Saturday, I usually sleep in and have a big breakfast. One more time. On Saturday, I usually sleep in and have a big breakfast.
Nice. You can change it, of course. You could say, on Saturday, I usually go grocery shopping. Or, on Saturday, I usually meet my friends.
The second useful one is, my favorite way to relax is... So for example, my favorite way to relax is to read a book on the sofa. Slowly again. My favorite way to relax is to read a book on the sofa.
Yeah, I really like that structure. You can say, my favorite way to relax is to watch a movie. Or, my favorite way to relax is to go for a walk in the park.
And the last one is, I prefer, because the word prefer just means I like this more. So for example, I prefer quiet weekends because I can rest and read. One more time. I prefer quiet weekends because I can rest and read.
You can also say, I prefer staying at home because it's cheap and relaxing. Or, I prefer going out because I enjoy seeing my friends. So, those three are very powerful and very simple.
Now let's take a moment to reflect. Just think about your own English and your own weekend. I have 2 small questions for you.
Yeah, and you can pause the podcast after each question if you like. Really answer out loud or write it in your notebook. So question 1 is, what is one new phrase you want to remember from today?
It could be something like, on Sunday I like to, or my favorite way to relax is, just choose one and say it with your own weekend idea. You can pause now and answer.
And the second question is, how would you describe your last weekend in 2 or 3 sentences? Try to really say it. For example, you might start with, on Saturday, I usually, or I relax by, and then add one more detail.
You can also record yourself on your phone, speaking for 1 minute about your weekend, or tell a friend or your teacher about your weekend, and try to use at least one phrase from this episode. For example, my favorite way to relax is, or I prefer quiet weekends because...
Now we have a small real-life mission for you. This is your weekend mission. It's simple, but it can really help.
Here it is. This coming weekend, try to notice your activities in English. When you wake up, think in English, I'm sleeping in. If you go outside, think, I'm going for a walk. If you meet a friend, think, I'm meeting my friend. Just little short thoughts in English.
And then, after the weekend, step 2. Try to describe your weekend in 3 to 5 sentences. You can start with, I usually. For example, I usually sleep in on Saturday. Then maybe, I relaxed by watching a movie. And then, my favorite part was having dinner with my family.
Keep it simple and clear. 3 to 5 short sentences is enough. You don't need long, perfect stories. Just real, small sentences about your real weekend. That is real English, and it's very powerful practice.
So, Thank you so much for spending this time with us and for practicing your English today. If you want extra practice, you can listen to this episode again and repeat the dialogues and phrases several times.
And remember, even simple ideas like, on Sunday, I like to relax, are important. Talking about your weekend is a real everyday skill. You are building strong, natural English, one small sentence at a time.
All right, we will finish here. This was Alex.
And Sarah.
From the Natural English Podcast, we wish you a calm, relaxing weekend. Enjoy it, notice your activities in English, and then try to describe them. Bye for now, and see you in the next episode.